Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Red Zone Pure Saiyans against Nappa and Vegeta and how we can snag the victory with them, well, against them, no item. So obviously with the Red Zone, it's at least this time around, this one feels kind of like a medium length, I'd say maybe shorter event. Sometimes you can have really long ones, sometimes you can have really short ones. This one definitely doesn't feel ultra long, but it's not like a one turn, two turn kind of fight. You have multiple phases of bosses. You've got a fair chunk of health between them. I think in total the whole event has just over 1 billion health, so not too bad. And the units are fairly tanky. So first thing is, let's talk Nappa. Nappa is a 2.3 mil super. We are going to need to deal with the fact that he gains 200% attack on his 5th turn. This is not game breaking, but it is something to be aware of because you don't want Nappa to get to the 5th turn. Now that's not too hard because he only has 180 million health, but at the end of the day it is something to be aware of. You don't want to end up in a situation where you're like struggling because Nappa's now got a certain amount of health, etc, etc. Once you deal with Nappa fairly easily, you'll move on to Vegeta Giant Ape. Now Vegeta Giant Ape, he does a 2.5 mil super. He has his supers guaranteed to go off every 5 attacks. So every 5-6 attacks he will definitely super. It's generally at slot 1. He will get 30% attack with each attack that he faces. So what's important here is the fact that your units who are later on in the fight need to actively take on that role, because he's going to super either at the very beginning of the next turn or he needs to super obviously at the very end of a turn. So you as a player need to be aware of that, kind of deal with that, because you don't want to end up in a situation where he's supering a unit that you have in the 2nd or 3rd slot. Traditionally those are more safe slots. That's not the case. You're now going to unfortunately have to worry about those units being attacked. Because his attack builds up so much as well, it hits pretty hard. It's going to be like a 4, maybe even a 5 million super. Like it's about 4.4 million. So if you've got type disadvantage and you don't have enough raw stats, you don't have enough going on, you will take damage. And then we obviously move on to Vegeta Giant Ape. 4.2 mil super, 500 million health, 1.2 mil normals. The big irritating thing with him will be locking switching. He locks your units in place, and this is obviously very annoying. So you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to plan around that. You're going to have to focus on what you can do to circumvent that, deal with it. The best way to deal with locking switching is A, don't let the fight last very long. That's always very helpful. And B, to have a versatile team. So they have a team where the units can survive in slot 1, can survive in slot 2. The team we're using, the GT team, kinda can do that. Obviously, there are mitigating circumstances, like if either Pan, for example, is caught in slot 1, we're probably in trouble. But the big thing with this team is that a lot of the SS4 units have nullification of supers, and that tends to make them operate at a fairly decent level. It lets them counter and potentially handle slot 1 situations. Goku strength, once fully built up, is also fairly tanky. Int Vegeta obviously has type advantage and also is fairly tanky, especially post super. Both AGL Vegetas are more than fine. We save both of their actives for the Giant Ape Vegeta, obviously. I think that goes without saying. So you just end up in a situation where, yes, you are mainly focused, obviously, on, your team and making sure that your team is safe, but it's really about the damage. Like the fact we have Vegeta who can do, so much damage so quickly, that really helps a lot, because you're not facing the locking switching a lot, which the more you face it, the more risk you have of the wrong character being locked in the wrong position. So being able to have that kind of situation exist helps a lot. because at the end of the day, I think, for the most part, players struggle with that RNG aspect of it. Having like those units really just almost risk your run because wrong unit got locked in the wrong place. This unit got locked in the wrong place. So it does cause problems. With that being said, GT team doesn't have those problems really because your burst damage is just so high. So I think for me, especially, I found the GT team works really, really well for this. The Vegetas work really, really well for this. And especially into SS4 Vegeta, he actually works incredibly well for it. And I think that's really, really, really well done. So yeah, obviously it's a meta team. I don't think anyone should be surprised that GT Heroes is doing a good job. I don't think that is surprising to anybody. They are definitely 100% one of the best teams in the game, without a doubt. But I do just find that they do a great job, and I think they suit the event really well because of the strength of Vegeta, because of the strength of everything, because of the strength of the team. I just think, yeah, it all works out really, really nicely. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any issues or if you want any more details, more help, anything like that. And yeah, but that is basically it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.